It's been a while since I've done a tier list. I've done one about Mario games, fast food, and Nickelodeon games, but I'm going to go more general because I want to talk about consoles and handhelds. So let's see what we got. Wow, we have a lot to choose from. So let's start with the Atari 2600. I haven't had any prior experience with a real Atari 2600 other than when I went to Free Play Florida, where they had this huge home console section where you had all the old consoles and new consoles at that. But one struck my eye, and that was the Atari 2600. I actually still have an Atari Flashback 9, which is a miniature version, which is kind of like the NES Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic, where it's a mini version of the console. But I never had the actual Atari 2600. So I had some experience with the games, and I had some experience with the controller. It is a pretty solid console, so I'm going to put that at A. I'm putting the Atari at A because it had a pretty long lifespan. You guys knew that from 1977 all the way to 1992, that entire span was just, that's all Atari. So I think that is a testament to how good the Atari 2600 was. Then we have the Nintendo Entertainment System. I also did not have any, well, my mom says that I had an original Nintendo. I do not remember it because I was probably way too small. However, I had the original, I had the NES Classic. I had the NES Classic, and I had that really short 3-foot long controller cable that was attached to it. So didn't really enjoy, I mean, I did enjoy it, but I just didn't like the short length of that. But we're talking about the original NES. So many great games came out of that, like Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. We had Legend of Zelda. We had games like Skate or Die. We had like the Goonies, and we had like Contra. We had so many games I can't even count, but I think this honestly goes in S because it is the most classic. Like, this pretty much saved the video game crash of 1983. There was a Famicom back then, but that was in Japan. So we're talking about the original Nintendo. That goes in S. This is the Sega Master System. I have not had a Sega Master System. I was not a Sega kid. I have played some Sega Master System games. I'm gonna put it at C because there are some great games that did come out of that. Like, I remember playing Sonic Blast on that. I remember playing Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. And these are emulated versions that I played on the PlayStation 2. And we're gonna get to that later. But I'm gonna put that at C because it was trying to be like the NES, but it just couldn't replicate it. This next one here is called the TurboGrafx 16. I have not played this one. I have not even seen gameplay footage of it. I heard it's good. I heard it was a good console for its time. I just hadn't had any prior experience with it. The original Game Boy. I had very vague memories of the Game Boy. The only games that I really know playing on it was Pokemon Red and Blue, or Pokemon Yellow, or any of those. And that was like late in the cycle of the Game Boy. Like, the Game Boy came out in '89. We had Pokemon, which came out in 1996 in Japan, and then 1998. Almost 9 years after the Game Boy had released, and it, for some reason, Pokemon just took off. But that's the only game that I know that's really, really worth playing on. But there's still other great games on there, like Super Mario Land, Mario Land 2. Then we have like Link's Awakening on there. And those are pretty good, solid titles. I'm gonna put that at A as well. Pretty good titles on there. The only thing that really wasn't that great, and what's keeping it at A, is that screen. Because you could only play it in the daytime. You could only play when there's like light shining on it. There was no backlight to that screen. So you couldn't play it at night with like all the lights turned off. Like, it was just impossible. You needed a light on that. So then we have the Sega Genesis, otherwise known as the Sega Mega Drive, but it was more commonly known as the Genesis. Genesis does what Nintendo don't. That was the slogan back then. because when Genesis came out, that came out first in '89 when Nintendo still had the NES. That was a really good competitor. Had some great games like Alex Kidd and Sonic the Hedgehog, like Altered Beast, Phantasy Star. Like, I liked Phantasy Star. I also liked Rise Star. I also liked the Vector Man games, Vector Man 1 and 2. Like, those are great titles too. So I'm gonna put that at S because that was a really, really solid. This Genesis kicked Nintendo's ass for a little bit. It had quote-unquote blast processing. The Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I remember playing this. Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country were my main two games on there. But I also had games like Roadrunner, Death Valley Rally. I also had Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Yoshi's Island. I had like games like Animaniacs and then Tiny Toons, and then I actually had the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy. I had 1, 2, and 3. Then I had like Super Off-Road. I had so many great games on there. I think the last game I actually remember playing on that was either Yoshi's Island or Donkey Kong Country. In my dad's old factory, which he rented out, I was able to go there and chill out for a little bit while my dad was working. He had like an old CRT TV and we hooked up the Super Nintendo to that. It was a great time. That goes in S tier. The Sega Game Gear. I have a photo of my dad playing the game. I think I was in there too, but my dad was playing the Game Gear. I think I had like Primal Rage. That is the main game that I know I remember playing on that. Primal Rage, and then Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on there. And then there was I think it was the original Pac-Man game on there, or a Pac-Man port. But I do remember the Game Gear. I'll put it at B because not a lot of people remember it, but I believe it's underrated. I had some also kind of vague memories, but I do remember having a Game Gear. So that's what it is. That's what it shall be known as. This is the Panasonic 3DO. I have not played this, so I cannot speak for it. So there you go. The Virtual Boy. I have also not played a Virtual Boy, but I have seen the AVGN's video about it. I probably would not have enjoyed this, but I'm going to put it at NA because I have not had any experience with the Virtual Boy. The original PlayStation, the PS1, Crash Bandicoot. I remember playing Crash Bandicoot on there. I had WWF Warzone. I had Crash Bandicoot 2. I had NBA Live 2000. There was this like other game. I think it's called Ready to Rumble, I think it's called. It was like a boxing game. PlayStation was the first main game console to have like CDs, which will hold more data. So, came out in 94, 95. I'm putting it at S. A lot of great games on there. Like Final Fantasy VII. I love Final Fantasy VII, so that goes to S. This is the Sega Saturn. I have not played the Sega Saturn. I have not even seen gameplay footage of it. Oh boy. We have the Nintendo 64. This has been a staple in my life for a really, really long time. The Nintendo 64 carried me throughout my entire life. Super Mario 64, you guys all know that's my favorite video game of all time. But I had some other great games on there too, like 1080 Snowboarding, Donkey Kong 64, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, GoldenEye 007, Mario Kart 64, Super Smash Brothers, and the Mario Party games. 4-player action for those games. How did you pass that up? 4 people playing at the same time in the same room. It was a time to be alive. Putting that at S. Just because I have so much memories playing with it. The Sega Dreamcast. This is the last console released by Sega, and a great one to go out at that. But I have not played the Sega Dreamcast, so I cannot speak for it. The PlayStation 2. I was a PlayStation 2 kid throughout that entire time. Like my generation, my era of like being a kid, my childhood, like the 2000s, if I were to have like the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, and the Xbox, I had an original Xbox. We're gonna get to that later, but the PlayStation 2, I was a main PlayStation 2 kid. Let me tell you, WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. Then we had SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, and SmackDown, Just Bring It. I had SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom. I had a lot of games on there like Tak 2, The Staff of Dreams, Tak and the Power of Juju. I think I had more games for the PlayStation 2 than anything else. Because I remember my dad always saying, like, make sure you protect the games in those discs, because those discs had scratches on them. Sometimes it couldn't be read, sometimes it could. Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure was one I played on there all the time. One of my favorites. The PlayStation 2, I was a PlayStation 2 kid, but I was also a Nintendo 64 kid. The PlayStation 2 also carried me throughout my childhood. So the PlayStation 2 gets a good rap for me. We have the original Game Boy Advance, like the Fat Boy, not the SP because it's not over here, but we have the Fat Boy. My sister had the plain original Game Boy Advance, but I had the SP, and then my sister upgraded to her Game Boy Advance SP. We didn't have game links, so we could play together on, in like the car or anything, but Super Mario Advance was one I played all the time. I had Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland. Those were two. Oh, also DK's King of Swing I had on there. I had Mario Kart Super Circuit on there. Great titles. Great titles on there. But I'm going to put this at A, because even though I actually think I had a Donkey Kong Country port from the Game Boy Color, and I would play that in India, because I brought my Game Boy with me in India, and this was like I was about 8 years old, but I had the Game Boy. I had the original Game Boy Advance. I love my Game Boy Advance. Gaming on the go was great, and I remember being in the back of the car just playing on my Game Boy. Kept me through long car rides. So then we have the original Xbox. Now for a little bit, I had this for a short time before my dad sold the Xbox to somebody else, and then I got it for a PlayStation 2, because Simpsons Road Rage was what got me on the PlayStation 2. Don't know why, but that's just what happened. I had the original Shrek game. That's one I remember playing. And then I had like a BMX game, which was like a bicycle game. I forgot the name of the game. I do remember it was like doing tricks on bicycles. Then I had this game called Sneakers, which was like 4 mice and stuff that grabbed by the ghoulies. I remember that game. That was my rare. Then I had Blinks the Cat or whatever, but I don't know. I didn't really enjoy the Xbox as much because it was like the controller was a little clunky. I think I was a little bit too young to have that big Duke controller in my small tiny hands. So I know it had some great titles on it, but I'm putting it at C, because it didn't really resonate with me that much. I wanted a PlayStation 2 because it was more form-fitting to my hand, that controller, and I just preferred the way the controller looked, and I preferred the way the controller felt, and I just preferred the games on the PlayStation 2. So the Nintendo GameCube, I have an emulator, right, called OpenEmu. One video that you should check out, me and MC Benz played OpenEmu, but it was for the Nintendo 64 for those games. But I do have some GameCube ROMs that I'm reliving my nostalgic days of playing Nintendo GameCube. I got the GameCube late, like pretty much mid in the life cycle. I got the GameCube in 2004. I had 5 games for it only. I only have 5 games for it, or actually 6. I had 6 games for it. Mario Sunshine, Mario Kart Double Dash, which was my favorite, Super Smash Bros. Melee, which me and my sister played all the time. Then I had Mario Power Tennis, Dora the Explorer for my sister. Then I had Spider-Man, the original game. I'm having so much fun playing GameCube. I'm reliving those days where there's just something about the GameCube controller that was obsessed over. I don't know if it was the C-stick. I don't know if it was like the way like the control. I have the controller right here in my hand right here. Let me just take that out. So this is actually the Switch version of the controller. It has 2 Z buttons. This is originally the Z button, but now it's back here. But just holding it, I can just imagine myself playing it. Just playing Mario Kart Double Dash or Mario Sunshine or Mario Power Tennis or whatever it was. And something about this controller just felt right to me, personally. It could have been the C-stick. It could have been the way the other stick, the main left stick, was just comfortable to move around with the way my thumb was. Or just the way the back buttons, the LNR buttons, just the way they pressed down so deep. The travel just felt so good. I don't think there's going to be a controller like GameCube's ever again. So I'm holding on to this one as much as I can, because this controller just, I don't know, there's just something great about it. So I'm putting GameCube at S because I had even though I had limited games, I had such a fun time playing them. The most recent time I remember playing GameCube, like real life GameCube, actual GameCube, was when I went to TICO, which was like a technical school. There was one day where we had like a free play. This was like around the last days of school. Somebody brought their original GameCube and they had all 4 controllers played. I don't know if it was one of the Mario parties. I believe it was 6, and I was player 3. And there were 3 other students. I was player 3 and I was just playing Mario Party. I was actually good despite me not playing Mario Party in a long time. I was just good at that game. I don't know, I just remember playing that a few years back. This wasn't even that long ago. This was like maybe in 2018. So playing GameCube again, just having that, the PlayStation was good, the GameCube was good. We're moving on to the Nintendo DS. I remember getting this for like maybe my 7th birthday or my 8th. Actually, no, it was my 8th birthday. It was my 8th birthday. We got it in 2005. Mario and Luigi Partners in Time was the newest game. And I played that for a little bit. Then my sister got Nintendogs just in case she wanted. We actually took turns playing it. Like sometimes I would be on the GameCube. Sometimes she would be on the Nintendo DS playing Nintendogs. I would play Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. Then I got Mario Kart DS. Then I got New Super Mario Brothers. And New Super Mario Brothers was part of my late childhood when it came out in 2006. I loved it. I loved every single bit of New Super Mario Brothers. That was probably the game I played the most on the Nintendo DS. Just me playing it in the back of the car, just getting through level by level. Something about New Super Mario Brothers back then just really hit home for me. So Nintendo DS gets an A. The screen was a little bit low for me, even though there was the Nintendo DS Lite. And I did eventually get the DSi, where you could take pictures with, like, it was like a small little camera. You could draw pictures on the photos. And I wish I still had the original, the DSi, to experience that again. The PSP, the PlayStation Portable. MC Benz actually won this PSP. I think it was like a contest they were giving out, or like a sweepstakes or something, where like she got the PlayStation Portable for like cheap. I think she won it. She won that, and so she got it for free. I forgot what game she had on. The only one I really remember playing on there was Ape Escape. I don't know what Ape Escape it was, but I know Ape Escape was on there. I remember those cards. Not cards, but it was like a weird combination of like a disc and a cartridge, where you just like stick it in the back of the game, of the console, I think. I don't know. I just have vague memories of the PSP, but this was like Sony's answer to like the Game Boy, and it looked a little bit more like the Game Boy Advance, but it ran on discs. It had a fan in the back, which was really unheard of for a game like that. I would say B for that one, because I don't really have that much to say about it. All I just know is that there were a lot of good games for the PSP. A lot of people like at school, like the kids at school that I would talk to would talk about how much they love their PSP. So anyway, that's a little bit of the PSP. And now we have Xbox 360. The only time I really remember playing Xbox 360 was at a friend's house. He had Black Ops. I like the controller. I like the controller of the Xbox 360. I like the controller a lot because it was similar to this, where like the thumbstick was on the top and not like how the PlayStation has it. Like the DualShock controllers has it. It was just more comfortable to play like FPSs on there. Those first-person shooters like Call of Duty. It was just more comfortable to play like that. But you could still like the headphone jack inside the controller, so that way you could like do online gaming. But the Red Ring of Death was very noted to me. I did not want a game that would potentially crash on me and me not having to use it again. I did not buy an Xbox 360 specifically for that reason. So I'm putting it at D. Only because I know the Red Ring of Death. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but me personally, I could not risk getting the Xbox 360, getting the Red Ring of Death, knowing my luck, and just not having a working console anymore. But I did have the PlayStation 3 though. I remember it was Christmas, it was like winter break of 2009. I was in 7th grade. And I remember after that last day before winter break, me and my family went to Best Buy and we got the PlayStation 3. We got the slim version though, not the original. What I didn't know was that the original PlayStation 3 could play PS2 games. I got a PS3 specifically for my PS2 games at first because I didn't have any other games for the PS3. Eventually I did get other games like Little Big Planet, and I'm so embarrassed to say this. I'm really, really embarrassed to say this because my first game that I picked for the PlayStation 3 was Sonic 06. The worst decision I have ever made specifically for that, and I don't know why my sister wanted 2-player action. I don't know why my sister likes that game that much, because that game sucks. Everybody knows that game sucks. AVGN did a review on it. Over in the years, I've gotten Little Big Planet 1, 2, and 3 for the PS3, and I did get some other older games for it, like Gex Enter the Gecko, which is what I used to play on my Nintendo 64. So this gets an A for me because right now I still have my PlayStation 3 sitting right there, but that failed on me. You know how I was talking about the Red Ring of Death on the Xbox 360? For my PlayStation 3, I got some really good years out of the PlayStation 3, but now I got the red light of death. The red blinking light of death is what I got. So it no longer works, but I got some good use out of it. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy about the use that I got out of the PS3. So now we are on the Wii. The reason why the Wii is so special to me is because the family, especially my family, got more involved with playing it. Like, I've always wanted like that togetherness when playing games. Like, I didn't get it when I was playing the Nintendo 64. I only got 2 controllers. I only had 2 controllers for my PS3 or PS2 and PS3. Only had 2 controllers for the GameCube. Only had 2 controllers for PS3, and I had a couple of controllers for the Wii. The Wii is also what started my retro gaming, my love for retro gaming, because of the Virtual Console. First 2 games I got on there were, let me just first talk about the family orient, because I got Wii Sports. I think my family would still love playing Wii Sports to this day. I don't have Wii Sports. I don't have Wii Play. I don't have Super Smash Bros. Brawl anymore. I don't have Mario Kart Wii. I don't have Super Mario Galaxy. I don't have Mario Party 8 anymore. I did have some older games on there, and I played the shit out of those older games. Because the Virtual Console made me love retro games. Because back then, being retro was not cool. The advent of like YouTube in like 2005, around 2006 is when retro gaming started to become more popular, because older games were becoming more nostalgic to people after seeing it. So the Wii with it was just kind of like the perfect storm where Nintendo said, "Hey, we're gonna do Virtual Console. We're gonna have older games so you could feel young again." Like the NES, the Super Nintendo, and the Nintendo 64, and it was backwards compatible with GameCube games. That, and also you could plug the original GameCube game on top of the Wii, so you could play it that way. I got a lot of enjoyment out of the Wii. I got a lot of good hours out of the Wii. Me and my sister played Smash Brothers Brawl all the time. We played Mario Kart Wii all the time. We played Wii Sports and Mario Galaxy all the time. So the Wii gets an S for me because of how my retro gaming phase just is still here to this day, because I missed playing old games at that time. And I loved playing them so much that I still do it to this day. So I gotta thank the Wii for that. The Wii is what made me love old games again, and being backwards compatible with all the others. It was just a fun time. It was just a fun time. The 3DS. I never had a 3DS. But I remember my mom saying that we couldn't get a 3DS because it could hurt my eyes. And I could only see out of my right eye. I mean, I could see out of my left eye too, but I mostly use my right eye for seeing everything. The 3D effect would not have been good for my eyes. So, one of the main reasons I didn't get it, but I don't know, I believe that's sort of hogwash. The Wii U. This is going to be very controversial, but I actually like the Wii U. Not a lot of people like the Wii U, but I liked it. I liked the Wii U. I liked the gamepad. I liked having that fat controller in my hands just playing Super Mario Maker. That was a game that I really, really wanted. I got Smash Bros. For Wii U on that, so I got some good hours out of that. I had some Lego games. The only one I really remember having was Mario Maker. I got some good enjoyment out of Mario Maker. A lot of enjoyment out of Mario Maker. I think the only reason you would get a Wii U is to play Mario Maker, but I did get some enjoyment out of the Wii U. I like the Wii U. I like it. I like the Wii U. That's going to be controversial, but I like the Wii U. It's going in B. New Super Mario Bros. U, however, is just New Super Mario Bros. Wii, just in HD. That's all it is. It's just the Wii in HD, because you can connect your Wii controller on it. I don't know. I like the Wii U, but I will admit, it's not as good as the other games. Not as good as the other games. Not as good as the other consoles, I mean. PlayStation Vita, I also did not have any recollection playing. It was the successor to the PSP. I don't really know anybody that played a Vita. I don't really think anybody liked the Vita that much. Anyway, we're moving on. The PS4. I have a fun memory in December 2016. It was around like the winter, like it was Christmas 2016, and I remember we were going Christmas shopping, like the family was going Christmas shopping, and we went to like a small little GameStop, right? Like a small little portion of the GameStop in the mall. And my dad asked me what game I wanted, and I was like, okay, they mostly have like, I was like, Dad, they mostly have like new games right now. I don't think they're gonna have any games from like the PS3 or anything like that. And then he said, hey, I have an idea. Why don't you wait outside for a little bit? I have a surprise. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? And then I waited outside for a little bit. I'm like, what is he doing? And then he comes out, he gives me a bag. He says, Merry Christmas. I look inside, or he bought the PS4 with Uncharted. And I also got WWE 2K17. And I was like, what? You got me a PS4, Dad? And he's like, yup, Merry Christmas. And then went home, played 2K17, played Uncharted 4, and then I also played Star Wars Battlefront on there. That was a really good game. I liked playing on the PS4. Like Battle Squadron, like flying as those TIE fighters and stuff, that was amazing to me. But as a console though, I was impressed with the graphics and about how real everything looked. I loved playing GTA 5. I still enjoy playing GTA 5 to this day. So there we go. Putting that in A. I do not have my PS4 anymore. I do not have the Xbox One anymore. But I will tell you a little bit of story about the Xbox One that I had. So around Christmas 2018, I got the Xbox One. This was one of the times I was like, I wasn't really a fan of Xbox. Because like I said, the Xbox 360 was just something that I didn't really want. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give Xbox a chance. For Christmas, I was gonna get the Xbox One S, which was a smaller version of the Xbox One. It was white, and the controller was white. I played like Fortnite on there. What is this thing called? The Game Pass, where you could play like, you could stream games from like the past Xbox and Xbox 360. I played Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga again. I played Banjo-Kazooie, which is a Rare title which Microsoft owns. And I played Gears of War with my best friend. I would say it was alright. I didn't play it as much as the PS4 though, but I did like the controller. I did like plugging in the headset, and I still have the headset where I could, it was really good. Like for online games, like there were a lot of people that were on Xbox One. So a lot of people like Xbox. So the only thing I can really say about Xbox is that the games are really easy to develop for that. Like if you were on like the PC, like the like Windows or something, it was very easy to just develop the game because you could just put that game on Xbox and it would work. So Xbox games are really easy to develop for. PlayStation, not so much. You need much more development time for that to have a port of that on the PS4. So Xbox One, I would put that at B actually. It was a solid game console. I would say I like it, but I had my time with it. It wasn't really my thing. I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't really my thing, but I gave it a chance and I was like, you know what? Xbox is going in the right direction. Like I did get some good use out of it. I played Fortnite a lot online. I played a lot of online games on there, so playing online is great for that. Never played with the Ouya. Don't know a lot about the Ouya. That the console looks like a dreidel. The Nintendo Switch. Right now, currently, I still have my Switch. I have my Switch moving right here. Here it is, Switch. The Switch was a game changer. The Switch is a game changer because it's a hybrid between a home console and a portable console. It's in portable mode now, but you could stick it in a dock with the HDMI and power port in. It will go straight to the TV. Anytime you want to go someplace, you just take the Switch out. You can play actual full home console games on portable mode. That's why I like the Switch. Not to mention we have Nintendo Switch Online, which is like $20 for the whole year, which in my personal opinion is a steal. That's a good deal for 1 year. $20 for the whole year, that's a steal. You get to play old Nintendo games, old Super Nintendo games, old Nintendo 60. Okay, the expansion pack was a little much. The only reason I got the N64 expansion pack was because it was a gift. I would not spend $50 just to play it for the whole year, but I only got it because I got a $50 gift card from somebody else. So I decided to put some good use into that and get Nintendo 64. And I will admit the catalog is not really the best, but I do play Super Punch-Out on here a lot. I do play Super Mario World on here a lot. I do play a lot of my old games on here a lot. Whenever I want, streaming games on here, really good. I also like Smash Bros. Ultimate. I love Super Mario Maker 2. Yeah, I get a lot of good use out of the Switch. So what I'm going to do right now is just put the Switch at S because, I mean, come on. There's so many ways you could play with this thing. You could play with this in handheld mode. You could take the Joy-Cons out, put it in tabletop mode. I don't think I have the Joy-Con grip for this thing, but you could put it in tabletop mode. Look at this. Great. You could play it any way you want. There's so many ways you could play this thing. Last but not least, we have the PC Master Race. I know a lot of people that go to the PC because it is the best option for gaming. A lot of people with their headset on and their controllers connected to the PC. A lot of people build their PC to work with great games on there. I don't know. I've played PC games before. I'm going to put it an S just because I support the PC Master Race. Even though I haven't had that much experience playing PC games, I think that it is a great option if you want to build your own PC. You want to build your own gaming PC, I mean. Just putting graphics cards and other stuff like that. I think that stuff's really interesting. I might look into that, but I honestly like my iMac a lot, and so I just deal with that. So that's my tier list. It honestly looked like a reverse staircase, but that's what it is. I know I talked about all the consoles a lot, but I do have a lot to say about it. I did have a lot to say about it, so hopefully you guys agree with that. I might do another tier list later, so thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.